All right. This is meant to help you make a mask map for Unity. You can see here in my terrain, we have this mask map option, right? We have our diffuse map, our normal map, and our mask map. So the mask map is actually a combination of 3 different textures. So we have the metallic, the ambient occlusion, the height, and the smoothness or roughness is how it's described on textures.com. So when you download a texture pack or a diffuse map, you have all of these additional maps. Unity combines them using RGBA. So I'm going to show you how to build that RGBA mask map using Photoshop. All right, so we have here on my terrain the paint texture tool, right? And we have these textures that I can build. So I'm going to go ahead and do my sand terrain. All right, so if I roll down to my sand, you can see, oh wait, I only have 2 for that one. Let's pick a different one. All right, let's go ahead and do the pine bark. Okay, so, or hey, I haven't done the jungle cliff yet. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the jungle cliff. So if I go to my terrain, edit terrain layers, create layer, I'm gonna find that jungle cliff albedo. Okay, so using that albedo, it's going to add that layer. So we can name that. Okay, so now I have my terrain layer, so you can see I can add my normal map here and my mask map there. So jungle cliff normal, I need to mark that texture type as a normal map, and then I'll apply it. All right, and so you can see I have a height and a roughness for that, right? And so what I'm gonna do is now on this jungle cliff, I can add my normal map to the normal map section there. And now I need to make a mask map that combines my height and my roughness. So if we look at this mask map again, the height is the blue and the roughness is the alpha, right? And this one does not have an ambient occlusion map. All right, so let's grab that height map first, and we'll drop it in Photoshop. And then jump back to Unity and grab that roughness map and drop it in Photoshop. All right, so now I have my height map and my roughness map. All right, so we need to combine these in the same image. So I'm going to use my selection, copy, pop that over here, paste that in. All right, so we need to unlock that. So this one is the height, which is on the blue layer. Blue. All right, and then this one is the roughness, which is on the alpha. Okay, and we can drop those. If I had more, right, if I had a red layer and a green layer, I would put them in order so that I have my RGBA in the right order. And that is really an organizational trick. It's just to help you keep things straight in your brain. All right, so I'm gonna double click here, blending options. This is my blue layer. Let's see, let's make sure we're in RGB mode. We're not, so I'm gonna switch it to RGB mode. Don't merge the layers. All right, now let's try it. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna uncheck red, uncheck green. So now this blue layer is only set to a blue channel. Okay. Now we have this alpha layer. And this alpha layer needs to have the alpha variation. right? That's what we want. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of the white here. So I'm going to go to select color range, and you're going to choose your fuzziness to tell you like how much to alpha this, right? All the black is going to be variations of roughness. All the white is going to be set to 0. So it's going to be gone, right? So you can choose how fuzzy you want to make this, right? This is rock. And so a lot of it is fairly smooth. So I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to delete what's selected. Okay? So I press the delete key to get rid of what was selected. So then I'm going to unselect. I'm going to Mac, so I'm going to press Command click. That is going to select what is remaining. So what is remaining is now selected. And then if I click on this Channels tab, here you can see I have my RGB layers, but I don't have an alpha layer yet. So what I'm going to do is click on this mask, and that creates my alpha layer with the selection that I have right now. Okay, so if I uncheck that box, turn on my alpha layer, right now I can see what is in the alpha right now. Okay, so it doesn't like to show you the RGB and the alpha together. That's hard for it to kind of depict. That's why it has this red mask on it, so you can kind of see the variation in color that the alpha carries. All right, so now we have our blue layer, Command D to deselect, and our alpha layer combined into one mask, right? So like I said before, if I had a red layer and a green layer here, right? Maybe this is our red, this is our green. So then I would double click in here, set that layer to contain all my red information, right? Double click in here, set that layer to contain all my green information. But I don't have that. We don't need to worry about it. So I'm going to trash those. So we have a blue and an alpha. So now I'm going to do save as. This is my rock cliff jungle, right? So jungle cliff mask. All those are fine. We're going to include the layers. All right, so pop back over to Unity now. And we're going to find our jungle cliff mask right there. And we're going to drop that here in our mask map. Okay, and so now that contains our height map and our smoothness. Okay, so now on my jungle terrain, if I paint with this jungle cliff, you'll start to see, let's zoom in a little bit so we can get a better idea of what we've got going on. You can see that it contains some height, identification, and some smoothness. Now, I think my tile size is a little too small on this. I'm gonna make that a little bigger. Maybe we can go to 4. Right. So just so we don't have repeat quite as much, right? You can even increase it more. You can run your offset so that it tiles a little more interestingly. But that is how you can create this mask map that will improve the resolution of your terrain textures.